This is Steven Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum vs. Smackdown. This is from April 16th, 2021. It's a post-WrestleMania 37 edition of Smackdown. And we're coming from the Yuengling Center in Tampa, Florida. Why are you laughing? One, Yuengling Center. Oh, brother. Two, isn't it on a campus? It's the South Florida, University of South Florida. Is that correct? In Tampa. And they let booze name their center. Money makes the world go round. But we're there. How did this Smackdown fall? On the scale of NXT, which was a wonderful post-Mania show with all the elements that you would expect to see, and Raw as a really horrible post-Mania show. Where's SmackDown? SmackDown is, of course, somewhere in between the two. I think in many ways kind of leaning slightly in the middle towards NXT. So that's good news. There is a bunch of good stuff here, a bunch of unexpected twists and turns. I don't know how I feel about them, but I definitely am interested to see how they play out. So that's definitely a good thing. We've got a new announced team. We got Michael Cole, woo, but we have Pat McAfee, definitely interesting. McAfee says this is a dream come true. I would have thought a guy who's lived the life that he has would have better dreams. Joke, kind of. Roman Reigns comes to the ring. Of course, he had an amazing WrestleMania where, as a heel, he defeated Daniel Bryan and Edge, stacked him up and pinned him. So they talk about that for quite some time. Cesaro comes out, which is fascinating. That's why I picked it for the picture here. And another reason I picked it as a picture is Twitter was not working today. It makes you realize how all of this stuff can go away in an instant, does it not? Or maybe it doesn't, and maybe I just made your day that much worse. In any case, Cesaro comes down, doesn't say anything, but faces off, and instantly, we have something exciting brewing. What's the most impressive moment in WWE history? Well, apparently, as they keep reiterating again and again and again, it is Cesaro getting Seth Rollins in the swing. Hopefully they have a plan on why they are pushing that narrative, because that's stupid.
Yeah, stupid!
That's my kid. Otis against Rey Mysterio. I winced going, I guess this is the Otis push, but no, Rey Mysterio manages to win. Okay. Rey and Dominic celebrate. Otis and Gable seethe. Yeah. Paul Heyman's backstage getting ready for Kayla Braxton. And he's about to answer Cesaro's challenge, and we go to commercial. That's a good segue into a commercial, Smackdown. It's good. We briefly look at WrestleMania 37 highlights, and then we're backstage with Kayla Braxton and Paul Heyman. Kayla asks point blank, will Roman Reigns accept Cesaro's challenge? Heyman rants, says Cesaro's a joke. Let's put an end to the joke now. So Heyman says they'll give Cesaro what he wants tonight. Cesaro one-on-one in the main event with Jey Uso. The fans in arena boo. Great segment. It's a great way to use Jey Uso. Again, it's just one of those things that makes SmackDown a solid show, that they have like kind of a gatekeeper to Roman Reigns, and all kinds of intrigue they can do with that. It lets them take their time a little bit. I don't hate it. Cole and McAfee discuss Cesaro versus Uso, and we get another look at Cesaro dominating Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 37. So they're really making the most of that win. It's all smart. It's all good. Sami Zayn's there. He was screwed at WrestleMania. He wants his revenge. Out comes Owens. Back to commercial. Then we come back. Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens. Long and short of it, Sami Zayn bails out of the match. Kevin Owens follows him. The match ends officially in Kevin Owens winning by countout. Then he gets Sami back in the ring, hits him with a stunner. Okay. we get the new Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews with Commander Aziz, who's got a spear, and they call it the Nigerian nail. That's kind of the long and short of it. Big E isn't here tonight, so we can't have more drama with that. The Street Profits come out, the Solo Cups fall as they head to the ring, and they want to have a celebration with Bianca Belair because Ford is married to her, and it's cool. We see more highlights from WrestleMania 37. Out comes Bianca Belair. Super cool. Bianca Belair thanks Sasha Banks, and then she says, I gave you something to remember me by, a reference to that ridiculously brutal hair strike. She says it's for the little girls watching in person or at home. It's really nice. They have a group hug, and the celebration isn't spoiled, which is nice. It's okay to have people celebrate once in a while. Kayla Braxton's backstage with Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is pissed. She shows off the mark she has from the hair strike. Cool. They show us Cesaro's UFO move to Seth Rollins, calling it one of the most impressive moments in history. Now, it's not the most impressive, it's just one of them. No, it was, I guess, kind of one of the most impressive things at that WrestleMania on that night. That's about as much as you could qualify it and be accurate, I think. Kayla's backstage with Bayley. Says Sasha Banks must want a rematch, but nobody wants a match with Bianca Belair, and challenges her. Smackdown tag team title match, Street Profits against Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. This is really a time filler. At the end of the day, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode retain, and the Street Profits go. My God, I never thought we would miss a time when we were doing dumb segments with the Viking Raiders, but here we are. Cole shows us Cesaro's UFO to Seth Rollins once again and calls it the single most impressive moment in WrestleMania history. Oh, God. Kayla's backstage with Cesaro now, asking him about Paul Heyman's negative comments. Cesaro thinks Heyman's right in many ways. Yeah, he's got buck teeth, slack jaw. He's not the smartest. He looks like a Neanderthal. But Cesaro does belong in a ring with Roman Reigns. He's going to prove that tonight by beating Jey Uso. Nice setup. And they're having to do a lot of using one half of the show to promote the other half. Hopefully they can start getting away from that next week. Let us pray. But the problem is they don't really set up shows for the next week because they're writing them 1 week at a time. That's clear. Yep, that's the disadvantage to AEW. Easy as making a flub. Yeah. Natalya against Shayna Baszler. I would expect that, I write in my notes that Shayna Baszler is going to lose this to help Natalya's cause for her tag team. And that's exactly what happens. A roll-up pin because it's WWE. All right. They give us another look at Cesaro twirling around Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. This is classic Heyman stuff of just like, we're just going to put this thing over until you just accept it. They're talking to Uso. And Reigns shows Uso some respect for his trash talking. And now Jey is going to show him. Jey Uso against Cesaro. It's a good match. Cesaro does look dominant. And then they get it to the point where Seth Rollins attacks him in the middle of him doing the swing to Jey Uso. And so there's a disqualification. But Seth Rollins isn't done with his thing with Cesaro. Intriguing, not because of that matchup in and of itself, of a rematch, but this idea of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins teaming up, perhaps, against Cesaro. It's fascinating. And that's a great way to leave your show.
Wait.
Yeah?
Here's a bonus clip to get us some more views. ASMR Veronica.
My kid said ASMR and then is rolling a rubber band along the poster board for the project that she's going to work on. Did you like that ASMR? If so, just give us money.